What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look, a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What's up? It's me. I'm L Teddy 27, and I'm back. We're here for another review. This is going to be our review for Put a Ring on It. It is season 1. It is episode 6. I don't remember. I didn't even write down the name of the episode. It'll be somewhere around me, the title of the episode, because I didn't write it down and I don't remember. So let me start off by saying this was not one of my favorite episodes. And I will say that because by all 6 people going on dates, it was too much going on in one episode. And I don't think we got to see enough of the dates to truly get a feel for what was going on, whether or not there was a connection, whether or not, there was real chemistry. I just think all of the dates went by too fast, and there was probably a lot of information that we probably missed because they had so much to pack into one episode. So that's probably why I didn't enjoy this one the most. We find out at the beginning Michael decided to go on a third date with Whitney. I was like, oh, I thought for sure he was going to be like, nah, I don't need a third date. Baby, he's on his third date. Okay, you hear me? A mess. And so then Dr. Nicole started this conversation, and I really wanted her to unpack this more, and maybe they'll have another private session with Dr. Nicole. But the whole conversation with Hollywood about his mom and how that relationship kind of played a pivotal role in his life and shaped how he goes about things. There were times where he felt like maybe his mom wasn't as good of a mother as some would think she should have been, or he felt like he didn't always feel like she wanted him. He talked about her hitting him or something with the dad on the phone to kind of force the dad coming over or something like that, or leaving him in a park or something, doing these things in order to solicit a response or get attention from the dad, but at the behest or at the expense of the child, which is traumatizing. And so there were no positive examples of good, sound, wholesome relationships for him growing up, which explains a lot. Because now he's, trying to piece it together and play it by ear and, do the best that he can, not having anything to truly use as a guide or an example. It's kind of like as a teacher, if I give a project and I never show them what the final, um, what it should look like at the end, or give them a rubric, or show them what the end project, end result should be, they're just a lot of times throwing darts in the dark, throwing darts blindly in the dark, so um, it really, really, really helped to explain a lot more of Hollywood. And I really hope, in a later episode, perhaps at a private session, Dr. Nicole can unpack more of that, because I think that really needs to be tapped into. Even if him and Ashley don't choose to be together, I think moving forward for him to be with anyone, that is something that he's going to have to get through and navigate through. So then we start to see the dates. So Vince goes on this date with Christina, and I noted that they did have some things in common, but I don't know with the little bit that we saw whether or not there was true chemistry there. I just noted that they did had the photography thing in common. They seemed to be vibing, but I don't know that we saw enough to know whether or not there was truly chemistry. Hollywood goes on a date with this girl named Tasha, and this prayer that he gave when Tasha came to the house, I was like, Hollywood is a clown. Let me tell y'all, Hollywood is a whole ass clown. Do y'all hear me? He had me dying laughing with that prayer. Just dying laughing. But I don't think we saw enough of his date with the lady. What was her name? Christina. No, Tasha. To make an estimation as to whether or not there was a good vibe. He talked about the fact that she kept bringing up Ashley on his date instead of just focusing on them, and that bothered him. But I feel like there might have been other things that were talked about, but maybe through the magic of editing, that's all we got to see. Ashley goes on a date with Kwame, and I wrote down here, She claims that there were sparks, but she said that with all of the other dates. She's had great chemistry and great sparks with the other dates. So I wrote down, how is this going to be any different? We'll see. We then see Shay goes on a date with Rick, and Michael is very jealous and showing it. And Shay loves this. Shay wants this from Michael. So I immediately wrote down, Shay's going to go on another date with him. I don't even know that Shay likes him. Shay likes the fact that Rick makes Michael jealous. And then when they went out on this date, not Michael, Rick was showing Shay a lot of attention. And that's all Shay needs. Shay just want the first dude that's gonna come along and show her attention. Even let me tell you how much I don't believe Shay. Even when Rick said, I want kids," we know Shay doesn't want any parts of any kids. She in her confessional was like, "Well, I might think about it." Now you want to entertain kids with this dude that you just met, but not with the dude that you claim that you're in love with. Girl, the child that he already had. Girl, if you don't, Jesus. Anyway, she's a all you got. Shay, I hate to put it this way, and this is gonna come out the wrong way, but I'm gonna just say it. She seems like if you smile the right way at her, say the right things to her, and tell her you want to marry her, you can get her. She seems easy like Sunday morning. Moving on, Tamika goes on a date with this dude named John Mark. I feel like if John Mark were 10 years younger, she would have been all over him. But I feel like the fact that he is older, that turned her off. But I feel like if John Mark were, and he might not even need to be 10 years younger, he could have probably been 5 years younger, and she would have been all about it. I'm just saying. Um, Michael goes on a third date with Whitney. And let me say this, Michael. I think that is not fair when you go on this date with Whitney that you talk to Whitney about the intimate details of your relationship with Shay. Because you give her the ammunition that she needs in order to make all the right moves. Like anything you tell her that Shay doesn't do, now if she wants to get with you and she likes you, she's going to try to do that, even if that's not authentically what she wants to do for the sake of trying to get this relationship. She might do that. I don't know. I just think that you need to go into it with a clean slate and not bring up anything Shay does, and let Whitney just go off of Whitney, and let Whitney be Whitney, and don't let anything Shay does or any conversations or anything that you and Shay got going on influence Whitney, or cause Whitney to make moves that maybe she would not have already made. Anyway, Whitney then kind of says to Michael, "Listen, I see where this is going, but I don't think it's fair to me that we keep going on these dates. But now I got all these boundaries, and had this been just a regular date, you know, if we just met each other out in the street, by now, third date, we would have been a lot further along than we are now. But I can't pick up the phone and text you, or I can't try and do anything to make this situation real and authentic because we got all these boundaries." I mean, I understood. And I think that was all the dates. Yeah, that was all the dates. Um, so then we're back at the big house with Dr. Nicole. So, Shay and Michael talked about their date, same old, same old. He jealous, she jealous, all of that. But Vince and Tamika got into this verbal argument, and it got pretty intense. It got pretty intense. And I sat there watching, and as much as Vince says that Tamika doesn't want to let things go, I kind of felt the same way about Vince. Like I kind of felt Tamika a little bit when she said, "Listen, here I am. I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to just ask you a normal question, and you telling me that I'm, trying to, say that you cheating, and that ain't what I'm saying at all. You alluding to me saying going back to how I was, and I'm not doing that at all. I'm just asking you a question about another situation." I kind of felt her on that, but they started arguing. There was a lot that they need. They need some more private sessions with Dr. Nicole. It's so funny because coming into this, it looked like Ashley and Hollywood had the weakest relationship, and now at this point, they seem to have the strongest relationships. Their strongest relationship of the three couples. I don't know, y'all. It got to the point where we had to choose who was gonna go on dates. So Tamika and Hollywood, they decided they weren't going on a second date with their person. Vince said, "Yep, I'm going on a second date." I was surprised. Shea says she's going on a second date. I was not surprised. She's just doing this to make Michael. She likes that Michael's jealous. Ashley decided to go on a second date. I was floored. I said, "Look at Ashley, done grew up here." And what happens? Hollywood flips. You saw immediately Hollywood flipped out. And we knew that was coming. And we also knew that that was one of the reasons why Ashley kept saying no to previous dates. And I thought this would be more of the same. And I think Ashley is like, "Nah, if I'm gonna be in this, I'm gonna be in this. So I'm not gonna not go on this one." I was very surprised. Michael is going on a fourth date with Whitney. Now, Michael, at this point, what are you doing, Michael? Why are you, child, Michael? You trying to have your cake and eat it too, Michael? You need to either let Shea go and see what can develop with Whitney, or just stop playing at this point, because you were damn near in a whole ass relationship with Whitney, child. But anyway, it went off from there. We'll be back next week, y'all. It's a whole lot going on with this Michael and Shea. I want to see how this goes with Ashley going on a second date, because Hollywood seemed to flip when he learned that Ashley was going on a second date. Like, he went through that whole thing again when he tries to intimidate her and, into, however he wants her to go. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it for Tamika and Vince either. They got too many issues. I don't know. That's all I got, y'all. Until next week, same time, same place. That's all I got. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out.